Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. First, let's take a look at the major headlines. And of course, we're starting with our President Goodluck Jonathan. Just at the weekend, he actually brought out a special fund for athletes. So for Nigerian athletes that will be representing the country at different levels, players and all that, they will definitely have a special fund so that knowing that it will motivate them to win more laurels for the country. And also on the program, we'll be talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They will be facing Uganda tomorrow at Uyo. And of course, not only that, the media officer, Toyin Bito, will be talking to us on the program. The latest players that have arrived camp this morning and how prepared the Super Eagles are for this particular friendly game. And of course, when they will be flying for their next game, whether it's going to be Friday or Saturday, we'll definitely Thursday or Friday, we'll definitely get that from him also. And on the program, Rafael Nadal will be returning to the Queen's Championship for the first time in 4 years. Remember the first time he won a Wimbledon, he actually played in this tournament. That set the pace for him to win 2 more titles in that particular Grand Slam. Well, let's just listen to President Goodluck Jonathan when he was talking about what he has in plans for Nigerian players and athletes.
We must create a special fund that will be managed by the private sector, it will not be managed by government. Luckily, we have professional fund managers, so that while we are young men and women that are in the sporting industry, while they are still active, they will benefit from the fund. And even on retirement, they should benefit from the fund. While they are still active, there are training programs. We should have a fund that can sponsor them. Some of them start at a very young age because sporting activity is not for old people. And some of them at that time, the academics are somehow compromised. At a particular age, they want to go back and get their certificate, but sometimes they used to have limitations because of funding. So we'll get a special fund that will meet up that gap. At retirement, I always feel sad when I see somebody who has worked very hard for this country. Like, we listen to them, pay their dues, won medal for us, we celebrated them. But by the time they attain the age of 45, 50, and beyond, some of them, even to feed becomes a problem. And we feel that should not be so. We must have a special fund that such people could be rehabilitated and opportunities given to them, either in business or other ventures, so that they will be in position to take care of themselves, so that they will always know that their nation will not forget them. Some get injured and are abandoned. We must have a special fund for them, that when they are injured, even if they cannot go back to that profession, their nation must take care of them. In that case, they will put their all in struggling to win medals for us.
Okay, that was President Goodluck Jonathan actually talking about what the trust funds for Nigerian athletes. And of course, that is definitely a good one, because with that, I believe athletes who just want to go to championships, knowing that when they win anything, they have something to fall back on, especially those that really want to further their education when they didn't have the time to actually go to school while representing the country at a different level. Chinansia Iboyen joins me now this morning. Chinansia, welcome.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Because you weren't here last time. Talking about President Jonathan and what he just talked about, I was talking about something this morning on my show, and I mentioned the fact that the junior athletes that went to Ethiopia, and conquered Africa, nothing was done. They were not honored You know, the under-21, the under-20 team have gone to Africa. They've conquered. They've done the same thing, and we hear about the fact that they will be received sometime soon. I'm just
in 2 weeks' time.
now Special Athletes Trust Fund. Yes, good. When is it going to come into effect?
That's the
You know, because it's been all about football, football, football. Those guys went to Africa. They conquered. We had Esther Brume, Commonwealth champion. You know, she also went there. She participated. She won 3 gold medals, and nothing. Some of them were leaving straight from the airport to entering down for buses, going home. You know, nothing, no reception, no contingent waiting to receive them. How will it encourage these guys? So hopefully with this new trust fund, special athletes fund that the president has talked about, maybe we'll get to see something better.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the hope. And of course, for some of the athletes, most times when they finish their career, when they're done with sports, they will also have something to fall back on. And maybe when they know that, okay, if I represent Nigeria at a different level, maybe putting school on hold and all that, because with the way our education is structured in this country, when a university student, it's difficult for you to blend that with sport. You just have to let one go and focus on the other. Maybe if they want to go back to school again for masters or maybe for another school, they will also have the opportunity. Just like you said, when is it going to take effect? But the good news is it will not be managed by government. So it's going to be a private sector thing. So no matter what government will come in, even after President Goodluck Jonathan, once he establishes that, no matter the government that will come in, we already have, you know, a kind of a project, a structure, something each of them will definitely build on. That's just the hope there.
Yeah, so hopefully it will work, and we'll stop hearing the sad stories about other sports, other athletes, you know, not being appreciated. They can do something and go on and, you know, become something else after their tenure expires. I'm talking about their athletic life.
Okay, you can talk to us on Twitter and, of course, on Facebook on this particular topic. I mean, how is it going to be done? I mean, what President Goodluck Jonathan is saying concerning Nigerian sportsmen and women. How should it be done, and what are the things you should also include in this particular trust of funds he wants to have for Nigerian sportsmen and women? Talk to us on Twitter and on Facebook. You have it there on your screen, the feedback mechanism. Okay, now, talking about the Flying Eagles, of course, who went to Senegal and conquered Africa. 7 times they've done this. And, of course, for Manu Garba, he's actually seeking for one particular player. He wants the man to be in New Zealand. I'm talking about Kelechi Iheanacho. Iheanacho, you know, Man City on loans and different things, and sometimes was injured and all that. He wants that player to join the team. Do you think his inclusion will definitely help them to at least register something at the world stage? Because remember, it's only Ghana that have actually won it for Africa.
No, definitely, Iheanacho should be part of the team, you know, going into the World Cup. Not just Iheanacho, we're talking about the other guy, Chidinwakali, that his younger brother is one of the outstanding players right now for the current under 17. You know, so I think these guys are already core members of the team. They were in the side when they won the World Cup, and they moved on.
How much difference do you think these 2 guys will bring to the team?
They will bring.
Because you kind of have a complete team now.
Do you think so? It's like when
for you to have gone to a tournament and not losing again.
Yes, yes. Cecilia, remember when the Argentines went for this tournament? They could have gone without Messi in 2005.
Yes.
But they had to bring in Messi, even if it was some sort of known by then, you know, established to a certain level at the Barca youth ranks and everything. So the same way with Kelechi Iheanacho, you know, he brings something dynamic. He brings in something special. You definitely, there will always be space for a player of such talent in that team, and it's not like he's just coming in from nowhere to join the team. He's been in the team, you know, he's just been away because of club commitments and other things. So definitely he will be part of that team. He will definitely add something extra to help them go, you know, try and win that World Cup. We went to the finals twice, in '89 in Saudi Arabia and also in 2005 in Holland. So definitely we'll try and see how far we can go this time around. Maybe these boys, they're playing with some sort of belief. World champions, African champions, you know, what will stop them from going ahead to see if they can, you know, make this the first time that a Nigerian under-20 team will win the World Cup?
Okay, so it starts in May 30th precisely. So from there, we'll know how far they will go. Another thing is they actually have a moral booster going into that 2 million naira bonus for each of the players. And that's actually inclusion of, you know, accumulation of the camp allowances and all that, match bonuses and also everything put together. So each of the players will get 2 million naira. Well, that's it, okay? Now, talking about the Super Eagles, of course, they are in camp right now, and you have so many players have actually come in. You have the likes of Ahmed Musa, he's already there. 6 other players arrived to camp yesterday evening for the friendly against Uganda. You have new faces like Akim Latifu, then Odin Igalo. You have a home-based goalkeeper, Chidebere Eze. You have a defensive pair of Godfrey Babona, Ken Omerwa, China-based Aaron Samuel, all of them, they're already in camp. But of course, the Uganda team already, you're preparing for this game. And remember, both sides have actually met before. Nigeria won at home, and of course, Uganda also won at home. But it's Super Eagles, they are really not taking this game lightly. But I think it's just a friendly and not really a huge one. It's your African counterpart. But this is actually one of the preparations for the qualifiers for the 2017, African Nations Cup. Knowing that we didn't go to the last edition.
Definitely, to keep the boys prepared, to put them in that state of mind of, preparedness to make sure they will be ready when qualifiers start. I think the qualifiers should be starting sometime next year or maybe later this year. So definitely, they need this series of friendlies. Any opportunity they can get, any free window, any FIFA free window, fix friendlies, play competitive games, and start selecting the team, because right now we're still not over the issue of who's the coach of the national team now.
Yeah, okay,
Daniel Amakachi is handling things. The structure has sort of changed. You talked about media officer. I said Toye Bitoye. It was announced that it was, with the whole backroom changes and everything back then when Keshi was supposed to have left the team, but he didn't leave. So Ben Alaya was still the media officer. So then now Toye Bitoye. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay, you know to ask.
A lot of things happening. We'll keep watching and see how it progresses.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe after. Well, we really don't know. Okay. Now talking about the Super Falcons, of course, they will resume training tomorrow. Remember, they went to Bamako in Mali and got a draw from there. We'll be speaking with the coach much later on the program. And of course, for the Super Falcons, some of the top players were not actually there to touch the trophy. When President Goodluck Jonathan received it in Lagos on Sunday. But you have some of the few players actually touch the trophy, and of course, we believe that that's just seeing it alone will definitely motivate them to want to go all out. To just try their best and perform well at the World Cup, because preparations, it's practically zero. We're going to Mali and getting the draw. What would you make of that? Because when the Malians come to Abuja, maybe they might just get something and qualify for the All-African Games, knowing that we're not in Zimbabwe.
If my memory serves me right, we didn't qualify for the last Africa Games, so definitely I think that alone should be enough incentive for those girls. When the draws were made, we saw that we were going to play against Mali. We felt we didn't need to pack the whole arsenal of what we had. We had Francesca Odega, we had Nacho Hale, we had some of them, but not the entire team. As the full strength of the Falcons. But Mali, yes, we've gone away, we've gotten a credible 1-0 draw. I think they will do the business here. Definitely, I think they will do the business here and qualify for the African Games.